Today we're grilling summer squash. I'm using Cousa squash today, which is zucchini's meatier, sweeter cousin. But zucchini and any summer squash will work with this technique. Let's trim the ends and cut each one in half. We'll be cutting each squash into 4 to 8 wedges depending on the size of your squash. The reason for this shape is to create textural contrast between the thick and juicy side and charred and crispy side. It will also make it easy to flip since the seeds, that's the sticky part, will end up on this side instead of in the middle of each piece. I can never decide if it's easier to cut squash into wedges with the flat side on the board or the flat side up. So try both and decide for yourself. Now let's put our squash into a salad spinner, arranging it flush side up as much as possible. A colander or bowl will work fine too. And sprinkle heavily with salt. You want about twice as much salt as you'd use for normal seasoning, since a lot of it will drip out with the juice of the squash. The reason we're salting the squash is to remove excess moisture and improve its texture. Let it sit for at least 20 minutes or as long as 2 hours. Turn all the burners on high heat. Don't worry about the mess left over from your previous meal. We'll cover it with foil and burn it all off before grilling. The foil traps the heat, making the grate a lot hotter. This results in a cleaner grill and less sticking. You can reuse the foil many times. Cover the grill and let preheat for 15 minutes. Dump the juice that oozed out of the squash and spin it. That's where the spinner comes in handy to get the drying process started. Of course, it only goes so far, and you still need to press each piece thoroughly between paper towels. Don't worry about bruising the squash. It's normal for it to look a bit, squashed. I sound like Chef John. Don't skip this step, or your squash will stick to the grill. Remember the glaze we made in the previous video? It's linked below. Drizzle it over the squash and toss to coat evenly. If you watched my eggplant video and saw me soak each slice in a lot of glaze, note that squash doesn't need as much as eggplant. You know the grill is hot enough when the ash on the grate turns white. Scrape it off with the grill brush, working quickly to avoid losing the heat. Give the grate a few bangs for the ash to fall through. Pour a bit of oil into a folded paper towel. I'm doing it over the grill to avoid moving the camera, but you shouldn't. Fold the towel so that the oil is facing out and brush the grill. The more passes you make, the more non-stick the grill becomes. For meat and vegetables, a couple of passes will do, but fish and fruit can stick. So for those, I'd recommend 8 times. Again, work quickly not to lose much heat and only oil the area you'll need. Place the squash on the grill slightly diagonally to the grill grate. Reduce the heat to medium. Squash can easily burn on high heat. Cover the grill and cook the squash until you get grill marks, about 3 minutes. Perfect. Let's flip it over. And cook the other side until we get grill marks, about 2 more minutes. Let's see if we have grill marks. Yes, we do. Spatula works really well for taking the squash off the grill. The squash is so good, hot or cold, and is delicious with the labneh sauce we made in the previous video. See the link below. I realized that this was not the fastest grilled squash, but I promise you that it is the best. Somehow, grilling evokes a very cavalier attitude among cooks. We even use expressions like, just throw it on the grill, as if somehow that's idiot-proof. Like any cooking method, grilling is best when done thoughtfully and can elevate even the humble squash to culinary perfection. For more grilling wisdom, don't forget to subscribe to Helen's Kitchen channel. And if you're ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.